So it's been 40 plus days since I've been working from home.
Oh, wow.
How crazy is that?
That's pretty nuts.
Like, I can't believe that I've gotten used to this normal now.
For me, it's kind of like not a big
like
deal.
you're already
I was
already
always
an
in and out of
introvert.
the house
You're an
anyway.
introvert regardless. So it didn't really like affect you in that aspect, right? Like you don't really go out other than just to like grab shit.
I will say though, I kind of do miss doing Uber a little bit, just because like I did have some good interactions. Most of the time, people are silent, but it was also a reason to get out on the road, drive, listen to podcasts.
Yeah.
Like I like that time. I really did. Like even when you're driving back, or you have like a cool person you pick up, but outside of that, not a huge change.
For what I've been kind of doing, at least the last like week and a half or so, I've just been walking. Like I go out and like I'll burn and then I'll like walk. Like I've been walking 5 kilometers for the last like 7 days. Every day. I'll walk 5 kilometers. It takes about an hour. Not too bad. I'll just do loops around like some of the small crescents and stuff around here. But like it just helps that like I'll listen to a podcast or something.
Yeah, I love doing that.
Like I used to commute all the time, right? That's when I would listen to my podcast. Now I'm slowly starting to get behind on it too. You said you used to do it when you Uber and stuff, right? So
or like when I'm baking, right? But because of my stomach issue right now, I'm kind of been the same food, so I'm not really making a lot of different foods and things like that. So I'm like, when am I going to listen to my podcast? But I am actually getting it in enough. Like any chance I have where, let's say I go downstairs to make food for like 20 minutes, headphones on, podcast.
Yeah.
Go to the washroom, brush my teeth, podcast. I crawl into bed about half an hour before I go to sleep until my mom, because she's watching TV. Podcast. I just listen to one until
I'll tell Kendall like certain days I'll be like, you do you, I'm gonna do me. I'll play like NBA and just listen to the podcast. Because NBA you don't really need the volume or anything, right? No. So I'll just do something so I can listen to my fucking podcast. Whether it's drive, whether it's walk, whatever the fuck it is, right?
The Rogans, what I do is if I'm gonna browse something, like if I'm going on Reddit or I'm reading stuff, I have that podcast going on in a tab.
Okay, like
the video version just playing on a separate tab.
I try to keep the Rogan ones just as audio, and all the other ones on a week-to-week basis. I try to do video.
Direct opposite.
The opposite, eh?
I have only video for Rogan and King and the Sting.
Yeah, that's a TV show. Like you made a good point when you said that initially. It's more of a TV show than it's a podcast.
You listening to the audio of that when they're like roasting pictures and stuff. I can't see what's going on.
You don't get the jokes.
No, and the other one is I like Morning Combat, but. That was that's Luke Thomas and Brian Campbell. I need the video version of that because I like their format. They have like topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. I have to be able to skip it because they do boxing topics.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday they did a topic on their top 5 album choices. I'm like, I don't give a fuck about your Guns N' Roses
People are
shit.
digging for topics right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So that one I need to be able to forward because I'm like, okay, topic 1 is MMA, cool. Topic 3 was like David Haynes, a boxer. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck this is. Skip. Even Rogan, like. There's some points where they get onto a good topic, you want to listen to it. Then there's others where it's like, okay, this is Rogan telling his guest what we, the listener, have heard like 20 times with other guests already.
That's so true.
You just want it in the background while I'm doing other shit.
Yeah.
Like I'm actually listening to the Donnell Rawlings one because I ran out. I actually spent.
You told me that you didn't even want to bother with that one.
No, but I'm 2 hours in today.
Wow.
Like, so
I did a 3 podcasts today. Actually, I finished Bad Friends because that podcast is fucking hilarious. It's like one of my favorite fucking podcasts.
I love Bad Friends.
Did you see it? Did you do the audio, right?
I listened to the Whitney and Andrew one too.
Yeah, that one wasn't that bad, right? That was fucking.
Do you know what was funny about that one? I'm listening to it, and I had to keep reminding myself this is Whitney's podcast because Andrew's just dominated it. He took over like he was the host. It was hilarious.
Great. It was so good. Like he started to flip it back on her in terms of like the relationship stuff. But that's the first time I've actually really heard him like be as transparent about his relationships as he's ever been. Well, but then again, there's no other podcast that will actually like push him like
Whitney
that. Right?
Always does that with all the male guests. She has to ask relationship type questions.
He seems like the type of guy that tries to downplay he's married, but he tries to downplay it to the point that he's not married. And when there's always podcasts that I hear where, like, especially Whitney's podcast, I guess you don't listen to it that often, but there's times where she calls out comedians, not by name, but by saying that, like, they really downplay their relationship so they can go out there and fuck around as much as possible.
I don't find Andrew downplays. I feel like he's like Rogan. He's not going to give you any details, but he does mention his wife a lot. But he doesn't say anything about her. Nothing.
But that makes me think with like when Whitney calls those guys out, I'm like, is she talking about these guys?
I wouldn't say
because I could almost see it. Like they're fucking super famous. I'm sure they would take advantage of this if they could.
I feel like Santino's wife, based on the little we can gather, is probably just as cool as him. And
That's
I
the
don't
vibe
think,
that I got too.
Yeah, I don't think he needs to
Like the-
go elsewhere. Like I think he's happy with it. Right?
The one part where they're talking about like, when he's like, if she comes in and you're watching a video, do you pause the video and talk to her? He goes, no, I watched the video. I told her to wait.
Yeah.
I'm like, he would totally do that, and I could totally understand that, and her being cool with it.
He'll like throw in like random remarks while telling a true story and then say something outlandish. He's like,
he doesn't allow it in Bad Friends, but
yeah, like or something like it's like
and then I fucking killed her.
No,
What?
yeah,
What?
and then she grabbed the remote and muted it, and then I punched her in the face, obviously, because you don't fucking do that.
And he does this so deadpan too, which is the best part about it too. Just because, that's why I love his comedy so much
love
too.
it.
I feel like him and D'Elia are almost the same. I'm not sure if you've ever seen Santino's stand up. He had one stand up special on Amazon Prime, and Kendall had like a free trial or something to it, so I watched it. And it's mainly like Chicago based stuff because he's a Chicago guy, right? So he's talking about a lot of Chicago type of comedy, but he not as funny as he is as like a podcaster. It's weird. D'Elia is like the prime example number one in terms of guys that like are way funnier when they're talking off the cuff.
It's so extreme though. It's like it's like one of the funniest people to me, one of my favorite entertainers.
Easily.
But the thing that he does for a living, I think he's one of the worst I've ever seen.
But that's a funny thing
Like
too, because
garbage.
comedy stand-up allows you to be as silly as he normally is. But it still seems like he puts certain restrictions on himself when he's on stage.
There's something not authentic. Like you can tell it's an act.
I think that also he's trying to appease to a wider crowd, whereas the podcast is selectly just his fans, and they know exactly how
his podcast is way smarter humor, where he's like actually making funny, good observations and stuff like that.
But
remember that one thing?
Silly too.
Remember that one thing that was such a funny bit, but then he said he couldn't make it work in a stand-up, and he's doing it in the podcast. And you're like, this is amazing.
I thought, it was the baseball announcer.
The baseball one. He's like, I couldn't find a way to make it work. I'm like, it's hilarious. Jokes. Yeah. This is how I know your stand-up sucks compared to your podcast.
I think it's great that he was attempting to do the Congratulations podcast as a stand-up, as a show, as a live show. That's much better than actually going out there and doing rehearsed material.
He literally comes off like a guy who's on crack on stage because he's jittery.
Yeah.
And he seems insecure and weird. Like he's like, I hope these guys like me. Like he's got that weird
But he should
vibe
do it
about
more
him.
so as like no matter who's coming to see him, he's treating them like his podcast fans.
His podcast is so like opposite where he's like, he's totally, I don't give a fuck, Chris D'Elia. Like I'll say what I want. You turn this shit up. I don't give a fuck. But the stand-up one is almost like he's hoping I hope they like me. I hope they like me. Like I get that
Which
vibe.
is weird considering how long he's been doing it for.
And they talk about what's the talk? D'Elia never misses a day.
Yeah.
Get better.
Yeah.
If you do it every day, then get funnier. What's going on here? I don't understand.
I think he's going to make, he's still making tons of fucking money regardless.
Well, I actually thought this too. I'm like, you know what? I don't like his stand-up, but I'm really glad he gets money off of it because I like him, and it in turn allows him to do the podcast and do other stuff. So
he coupled in
good. Like for the people who like it, go please give him money, give him money. Give him money.
The sad part though, bags. The sad part is though, like he's kind of like going around to his friends and like saying, "Oh, look how good the special is doing," right? Which is, I get it. Like that's kind of his character, and that's how he's trying to get the name out. Like how he did with Bad Friends, he called him up or sent Bobby a message saying, "Oh, podcast or the special is doing really great." My issue is he's going to think that's successful and that he's doing a good job.
I think it's too
just
late
a lot
on
of people are seeing it. That's it.
I think
that's the only way it's successful is that a lot of people are seeing it because he's famous. How many people are going to come back and watch the next one now though?
Here's the thing. I think it's too late in terms of like, that's just what his stand-up is.
Yeah.
And he's got enough of a crowd of whoever the fuck. I think there's a lot of like dumb hot chicks probably.
Maybe.
That like it too.
Yeah.
But okay. Any of these guys though, I don't think there's a single person or comedian that we listen to that I think is their stand-up. Actually, you know what? The only exception is probably Rogan. Rogan is the only one where his stand-up, he's funnier than his podcast. Everyone else, their podcast, that's the real them. They're way funnier than their stand-ups.
Callan, yeah.
But Rogan's just not silly or funny naturally. I don't find him that funny or silly when he's just being himself. But the way he pieces shit together is so good that his stand-up is hilarious.
It's very well crafted, though.
Yeah, but it's not his delivery. Like, D'Elia will say a line and you're like, it's so funny, just the way he delivered it.
Yeah.
But Rogan, it's like he doesn't have funny delivery.
I know you don't watch the podcast as much as you actually listen to. Congratulations. But the one thing that he has down so well is his facial reactions. Like the way
seen
he's
them.
able to manipulate
Yeah,
his
he does
face and shit. Yeah. Even during his stand-up. Yeah, exactly. Like the drive-by fucking or the fucking mic swing.
I actually saw that clip because I
The
heard
grenade one though.
I heard silence on the audio, and I'm like, what the fuck? And then I think you sent me the clip, and I'm like, I get.
Did you see the grenade?
Yeah. The green one. Yeah. I remember that.
He fucking tosses it and then just it fucking kills me, dude. It's so good.
Do you
how he
remember
does
when he was talking about when he was a kid and someone said something stupid, and then he's like, even then I knew that was dumb, and that was actually my first. And he does like a high pitch where like a kid like he's like, that's where it was born.
I wish it was more like relevant that we can use that term a little bit. I guess you can, amongst people that actually know it. But like if I were to do it to a random person, I'd want them to kind of get it.
There's been a couple of times where I wanted. Like I said something in the group chat and I wanted to send the headsprung clip, but I just didn't have it on me. I was like, I don't want to go.
I love how we have those saved and ready to go. Like some of them at least.
I just now I can't. Me and Zay will always die because I played that clip for him too. Anytime you hear "They call me Big Ellen," it just silences it. They call me Big Ellen. No, they don't.
I need a soundboard. We need something like that to fucking just throw 100%. In there. Let's get to some MMA shit. Like what this is. The latest news that I've heard about anything is the fact that the May 9th event or May 16th, whatever, I don't even know which date it is.
Pull up the card.
Either way, it's going to be UFC 249.
Oh, it is?
It's not UFC 250.
I thought they would actually go with 250.
No, Brett Okamoto's like,
I don't like
he
it.
like made it funnily. He's like breaking.
I would have preferred that 249 was scrapped so that we could easily document another time Ferguson and Khabib didn't happen. That should be their card.
That's true. Well, we skipped events in the past. Remember UFC 151, UFC 178, I believe.
That was Aldo Pettis.
Aldo Mendez. Remember Aldo Mendez 2?
Oh, I thought that was Aldo Pettis. Oh, it was Aldo Pettis that Mendez jumped in. What they did was...
When was that?
They booked Pettis to get a title shot at featherweight.
I remember
after
that.
his Melendez fight. But they booked it in February for August, so 6 months out, and then like 3 months after, like I think Pettis got injured and pulled out.
Mendez
So it wasn't really short notice because he still got like enough time for a camp. But it was originally Pettis Aldo.
And then 220 something as well got skipped as well. They booked it. It was like a January pay-per-view, and they tried getting Conor on it, but Conor wasn't available, and then they just scrapped the event. I think that was the same night there was a big Bellator card too,
and then
they wanted to go head-to-head with that.
Was Hendo.
Exactly.
Hendo Jones.
So 249. Let's look at what the card kind of looks like. Actually, you know what? Let me pull it up on Brett Okamoto had like the most recent card.
Someone go cough or lick on him. Like lick him up to like give him COVID, please.
Make sure he pulled out.
Which I know sounds terrible, but I'm also assuming that he'll be fine and beat it.
Well, he just had a weight cut. Let's not forget about that. So this is
healthy.
what the card looks like.
Okay, let's start from the bottom.
Oh, actually, well, yeah. Charles Rosa, Bryce Mitchell, not a bad fight.
That's a fun fight.
It's a fun fight. Bryce Mitchell, he has a little bit of steam behind him.
I actually listened to this past weekend.
Oh, yeah, you listened to it?
I like him.
It was not bad, right?
I like him. He's like
perfect. That was the perfect podcast host to have that guest.
Yeah, that's why I listened to it. I'm like, they're the same. They're from the same areas.
Exactly.
Pretty much, right? And I like him because he's so unapologetically him.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's like, I'm this. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like, I liked him. And
he's
he's actually really smart.
He's not that bad. Well, yeah, and he's like super handy and shit as well.
mean,
he has this running,
outside of the fact that he almost drilled his dick off. Yeah. But.
He has this running joke with Ariel where he like eats squirrel. And he's trying to offer Ariel squirrel all the fucking time.
I've seen that on Twitter.
Charles Rosa, not that bad. Came off of an impressive submission victory over Manny Bermudez. I remember that one.
Okay.
That was actually fun.
Yeah. Okay.
This Luque versus Price.
To me,
that's co-main event worthy on a fight night.
I agree. Also, this is a terrible matchup for Nico Price.
Well, they fought before.
Nico and
Luque Darce choked him last time they fought.
They didn't fight before. No,
they have, dude.
Nico Price?
Yeah.
Luque and Nico Price fought?
It's been a minute, but they've definitely fought.
See, normally if you say something like that, I'd be like, "Oh yeah, I remember."
Usually your fucking memory's way better than mine, dude.
There's no way they fought.
They fought.
They fought.
See?
Andy Darson.
2017.
What the fuck is this? I do not remember
October
that fight
28th, 2017.
That's crazy to me.
What card was that?
Now, Luque is Nico Price is tough and wild and can get you with those random things. He's not going to get Luque like that. I think this is a bad matchup for him.
The only issue I have here is Luque's possible deterioration in terms of his durability. Because the guy's taken
he's so
damage
active.
the last couple fights.
Even
Wonderboy pieced him up.
He was way too active.
Yeah, exactly. Way too
for
active.
all those like wars he was in. Yeah,
exactly.
But the Wonderboy fight was one of those where it's like, okay, Luque lost, but it felt like one of those fights where that's the fight where someone comes back from and looks like a new fight.
And much better fight.
Like he needed that exposure to a Wonderboy. And you could also argue maybe he was just a little flat-footed from fucking 5 fights in a year, and they're like, how many wars?
Well, okay, besides the Derek Grant's fight, which that guy took on super short notice, look at how much strikes. Look at how many strikes he's absorbed in that amount of time.
Barberina and Perry were straight wars, and then the Thompson fight.
Look at
so
how many
his last
strikes.
4 fights, only one of them was easy. The rest were like wars.
But look at 169 strikes Barberina landed on him.
That was fucking war.
138 Stephen Thompson landed on him.
87
by Mike Perry.
Jesus
We're closing in on what? Over close to 300 strikes.
It's good that he's taking time off,
right?
And I like this matchup for him. I honestly, I don't foresee him taking much
skill
damage.
For skill, absolutely.
I think he finishes him easy.
My play here would have been the under 2.5, which is what they originally released it at. Bet Online released it at like minus 170 or something, and then everybody, minus 2.5. Then they switched it to 1.5 now. So 1.5, I'm not 100% sure.
I would honestly still go with 1.5.
I don't know.
Luque is so technical and powerful, and Price is so wild. Man, 7.5 minutes. You think it makes it there?
I'll have to think about it, but I think
that's a round 1 finish.
I think Price has a little bit of a better chance than most people are giving him.
He's
strictly due to knockout power. Strictly due to knockout power.
He'd have to get a flash thing, yeah. But like, he's not like a intelligent fighter. So I just I don't see much happening.
Fight doesn't go to decision. Minus 425, minus 260 ish for Vicente Luque right now. That's insane. Jacare against Uriah Hall, not a bad fight.
I like this is kind of Uriah Hall's chance to go into the top 5. I mean, I don't know how much a win over Souza means right now, but it's still something.
I'd say top 10.
He's been in top 10 though. Like finally make that leap to kind of close to contention. This is like, to me, it's like if Uriah Hall loses this fight, like stop fighting. Like what are you doing at this point? Jacare is 38, 39.
Yeah.
He looked old. He's old and stiff and slow.
I think he can still keep fighting, but he's probably not going to be considered as a top contender.
This is your last chance to make it big, yeah.
Where is he at? Uriah Hall. Number 10. Okay, so he is number 10. Jacare is... Where's Jacare?
He shouldn't be ranked. He was taken out after he went to fight Blachowicz.
Oh, yeah. Is he even ranked at... yeah, he's 14 at light heavyweight. That's dumb. But yeah, Uriah Hall beat number 14 Antonio Carlos Jr. and now he's number 10. Yeah, I think you're right. He should definitely come out the victor in this. I think he's the slight favorite
like
here too.
Skill-wise?
No, he's the slight dog.
Skill-wise, it's ridiculous. Yeah. This guy's never even
sniffed the top 5. He looked really good in his last fight too. I bet against him heavy.
Okay, I would say Carlos really Jr. good. Really good in the stand-up, which is where he should be looking good, but he's still eked out a win after getting held in position, got his back taken, held up against the cage. He needs to like somehow fix up the grappling because he clearly gets mentally stifled during fights, and he can't open up with his striking because he's always worried about trying to defend this grappling. If he could open up his striking, he's like what, one of the top guys ever? Like he's so good. I
think he's in a good camp now with Saif Sayoud. 4 days MMA, those guys are fucking killing it now. That guy's a coach is really going to get there. So I think that coach could do it. I think Saif could get him in that mental capacity.
I hope so.
I don't want to break down each and every single fight strictly due to the fact that we don't know if this event's going to happen. We'll just keep skimming through it.
I like this fight.
Esparza Waterson is a fun fight. For the strawweights, that's a good fight. Olenek versus Verdum is fun heavyweights. We could possibly see a grappling fest.
Olenek is crap and old at this point. Verdum is coming off 2-year layoff and 41 got knocked out. Why the fuck not?
DeCastro Hardy, decent fight. Another fight for Hardy to start improving himself. But DeCastro is a very heavy puncher, could make things interesting. Stroni versus Pettis, don't really mind it.
It's the time to make it, but it's kind of weird in this sense. Think about this. Donald Cerrone's coming off a 3-fight losing streak, right? He's still ranked number 6.
That's stupid.
So if Anthony Pettis wins this fight, he gets right back into the top 5 of the lightweight division. Or sorry, he'll go to 6 or 7. Huh?
This is actually, they're going to do it at 170. I remember seeing the report initially, but it's going to be a fight that's at 170.
Right, yeah.
So that doesn't really matter much. But actually, there's a very interesting question that I heard on, I forgot what podcast it was. Who needs this victory more?
Yeah, that was on Below the Belt.
Was it? Okay.
I would say Cerrone, because Pettis, I feel like we've already made up our minds on what we get with him. Like, we're not expecting him to leap the rankings and go get a title shot. So who gives a fuck if he loses? Like, Pettis has hit his ceiling. He gets beaten quite often now. Cerrone, he's on this bad streak, and before he got on a streak at welterweight, like, you could argue shouldn't have been at welterweight anyway. And now his recent streak, he's been facing all killers in like a year. He's probably too active. But outside of those, he doesn't lose a lot. He actually wins almost all his other fights. Pettis is more like, like, unless you're fighting a good stylistic matchup, you're probably going to lose, and you're going to lose the same way over and over. This is the time for Cerrone to get a win over Pettis. So I would say Cerrone needs it more, because I feel like the jury's kind of already written out on him.
I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see Pettis in Bellator come this time next year.
100%.
Or even after this
Pettis is never going to get his takedown defense good enough to mess with these top guys at lightweight. Go to fucking Bellator, where they won't do as well with it. Bro, you got Ben Henderson there again. Fucking beat his ass again, because you always win.
Yeah.
You got Mike Chandler, though. There's good matchups there. His brother went there.
Had one decent fight so far.
Why not?
Yeah, Cerrone, I feel like, needs to stick in the UFC a little bit more, and I think the UFC wants him to stick around a little bit more than Pettis too, right?
Way more important for Cerrone.
I think if Cerrone comes out here and beats Pettis, the writing's on the wall. Like, it's Bellator. Like, it's about his brother's already there. Like we said, his brother is already there, so the door's already open for him to get over there.
Truthfully, like, Pettis' last fight, Diego Ferreira, that was probably like one of the, like, not worst in terms of like skill wise, he looked horrible, but just he kind of quit to me, didn't it?
He always quits. That's why I bet as heavy as I did on Ferreira. Like,
it didn't feel like he tried or cared. Like, he just got totally owned.
See, that's why he could be competitive in this fight against Cerrone, because Cerrone isn't as much of a pressure fighter as these other guys that he's been beating. And slow starter. Anthony Pettis beat him in 2.5 minutes the first time they fought?
Yeah.
He could easily do it again.
But that was also a super confident, I'm going to fucking kill everybody Pettis. Now that Pettis has got all these losses, he's a little gun shy.
Did they release odds for this fight? I don't think so. Oh, they did. Plus 105 Cerrone. So Pettis is a slight favorite here.
I would take the money on Cerrone.
What's the fight doesn't go to decision? Minus 115.
Honestly, though, here's the problem with even betting on Cerrone, though. He's lost 3 times in a row, and I know that they were all to top guys, but you still took a lot of damage. So is this the end of Donald Cerrone? Like, is this the time where he just starts losing to everybody because he can't take a shot? I don't know. That's definitely a fight I don't want to bet on. That's for sure.
Yeah. I'm probably not going to bet on it at the end of the day, especially with the line being as close as it is.
Okay, yeah. This fight,
Stevens versus Qatar.
The second I saw this booking, I wanted to message you. There's your lock of the night, and then I saw Calvin Kattar minus 250. I'm like, fuck yeah. There's like zero way Stevens wins this, in my opinion.
Possible knockout blow, but that's about it.
But what is Kattar the best at? Boxing. He's a monster.
Minus 265. I wouldn't even mind laying that money, actually. Minus 265 is not too bad.
You know what you're going to get with Stevens, and I just think that Kattar beats him everywhere.
I was looking for something to parlay initially. Maybe even Ngannou and Kattar wouldn't be too bad.
Well, Nunes is off the card, by the way.
Yeah.
She's already confirmed that she's not fighting.
What's minus 290 Ngannou, minus 260, minus 117 parlay? Not bad. Not too bad. Let's move to that fight, actually, Ngannou and Rosenstrike. That's a fight that we're supposed to get a little bit ago now. That's a great fight.
I love this
fight. I just love to see Ngannou in there. I don't care who it is.
I'm kind of with
Fucking
Shab.
Put Greg Hardy in there. I don't give a fuck.
I'm kind of with Shab, where he says, like, this is his most anticipated. This might be my most anticipated fight on this card. Okay. Ferguson Gaethje is going to be a good fight, but I'm not fucking anticipating that. I want that canceled. I want it gone. And I want Ferguson healthy until September.
Wait.
Fine. If the fight happens.
Shut up. You're telling me you're looking forward to Ngannou and Rosenstrike over Gaethje and Ferguson?
Yeah, because I don't
take
want
away the
that
X factors.
Fight. I don't want that fight to happen.
Take away all that extra.
No, because do you know
as
why?
a fight as itself.
Exactly. But listen to my reasoning, right? The only way that fight is better than Ngannou Rosenstrike is if you get a bit of a war. Now that fucking means that he won't be ready for Khabib. So I don't want any of this. I don't want a good fight. I want Tony to either flatline him ASAP or take him down and darce him right away and take no punishment. Or if you take punishment, eat a few shots for the first round. You still got 4 months to recover for Khabib. I'm okay with that. That's cool. But I'm going to be such a nervous wreck watching that fight. Like, don't tell me everybody at home's not going to be... Gaethje's fucking parents are probably going to be rooting for Tony in that fight. Nobody wants Tony Khabib canceled. Nobody.
I don't know. Once the event starts, then I'm going to completely accept it. Be like, all right, Ferguson's fighting Gaethje. I'm just going to go out there and fucking enjoy.
I'm actually of the mindset where I've already accepted that this is going to happen because I think the UFC is going to pull this
I
card
haven't
up.
completely accepted it.
Really?
Yet,
I think it's going to happen. I think it's going to happen. But my only consolation is Gaethje's only had about 3 to 4 weeks of proper, maybe 5 at the most, of proper training. And he's a pressure fighter, pushing the pace. You're never going to tire out Tony. So if anybody's gassing first, it's him. So I hope he just kind of unloads, gasses, and gets darced. That's the only... Like, I'm just so worried about Ferguson taking too much punishment. And then he decides to fucking cut 24 pounds.
Yeah, that's
no
another
goddamn reason. Oh,
champ shit only, bro.
I get the mental aspect.
CSO.
I get the mental aspect, but hey, let's use some logic.
Yeah.
You're depleting your brain, and now you're going to do another weight cut 4 weeks later against a hard hitter. Let's not do this.
Do you remember what division he won the Ultimate Fighter at? Was that 170 or 155?
No, it was actually 170. You're right.
Was it 170?
Ramsey, Nijim, and him were welterweights.
Yeah.
I remember that.
So yeah, he did kind of do a little bit of a weight cut back to back weeks, but not like 155. So I guess it makes a little bit more.
Yeah, like this is a big.
Yeah. Again, once the event starts, I'm gonna be completely okay with the fight happening and just gonna enjoy whatever the fuck we get out of it.
Don't tell me you're not gonna fucking be sad.
I'll be pissed if Gaethje wins.
If Gaethje wins.
Of course
Nobody
I'll be
wants
pissed.
him to win.
But I'm trying to look at it as the perspective of somebody that's just watching a fight for strictly entertainment, not the strings that are attached to it. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Even if Gaethje wins, you could still get to Khabib Tony if Tony just gets one win. Almost like you got screwed over too many times.
Yeah.
Just fucking have your fight.
Yeah.
But
it's got to be quick.
But if Gaethje wins, it's no longer the greatest UFC fight ever. It is the greatest UFC fight
statistically.
Ever right
it's
now.
the greatest fight.
Canceled. No fight has this story.
No.
What fucking fight has been canceled 5 times? And not only just a fight that's been canceled 5 times, but the most talent ever in a fucking fight ever, and that's the fight that gets canceled. What is happening here?
It's not like the GSP or Anderson Silva or Lesnar and Fedor, because those fights were never booked.
Yeah,
right. These fights have been booked 5 times. That's the difference between these things.
And here's the crazy part. Here's an interesting stat. I think Khabib and Tony are both on 12 fight win streaks.
Ferguson's on. Well, Khabib is on a 29 fight win streak.
UFC.
Let's see.
Khabib, UFC streaks. I don't. But pre-UFC doesn't matter, bro. How many guys are like 14-0 and then their UFC record's like 2-8? Like what the fuck?
So
what's going on here?
Hector Lombard.
Yeah, dude.
So in the UFC, he started 17-0.
Come on.
And now he's 29-0 or 28-0.
Only 8. Okay. So I
11.
believe. Oh,
right?
okay.
Let me do my math. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
it's 12.
10, 11, 12. Okay.
Because you have to count the 17.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah, it's 11. Yeah, it's a gap
Fuck
of
math.
11, which you have to count.
Shut up. Fuck
so
math.
12. I believe Tony's at 12.
I think he's at 12.
Think of this. If Tony wins and we get that fight booked again, what other fight would have a champion as dominant as being someone who has a 12-fight winning streak, yet the challenger has him beat for the streak?
Yeah, that's true.
What the fuck?
I want to say
How do you have a 12-fight winning streak as a champion and the challenger has a better streak than you?
Yeah. It's crazy that he hasn't had an undisputed title shot since this craziness. So what? 1, 2, 3, 4,
they just took
5,
his interim
6,
belt.
7, 8, 9, 10, 12. Yeah, 12 and 12.
They're
God,
12 and 12.
I don't know why the fuck I thought it was 13. No. But yeah, and most of them by finish too. RDA decision, Josh Thompson decision, Danny Castillo split decision. All other finishes. He's had a couple dart strokes in there as well. Three dart strokes. Dude, insane.
After Poirier got that guillotine as close as he did on Khabib, Tony locks in a fucking darce, man.
It's the same thing. Like people keep pulling up the Kevin Lee getting full mount on Tony Ferguson. Then I can pull up the Dustin Poirier getting as deep of a guillotine as he did.
Dude,
You know what I
It's
mean?
styles, man. Like
It is.
even with Khabib, he's more about control versus passing, whereas Kevin Lee is going to try and pass quicker. It's a totally different type of grappling.
I think Khabib is a heavier ground and pounder as well too, but I expect Tony to get into those positions, but get out too.
Yeah, I think
I expect him.
Even when Lee got mounted, yeah, he mounted and then he was swinging away. But if you watch Ferguson, he didn't act
really get
like he
hit.
was scared or in trouble. Like he was kind of like moving. And then as soon as the round ended, he got up all calm. Like he didn't give a fuck. Like, well, big deal, no big deal.
I just need a resolution to this problem. Like I need this problem of Tony Ferguson versus Khabib to just fucking work itself out so people can finally shut the fuck up.
2020 has been a shitty year. Let's at least get one highlight.
Let's start it off. Or let's end it off.
Khabib.
Could you imagine it's
you know
like the
be so
year-end
funny?
card? The
You know be
year-end
fucking
card?
hilarious? If the fight starts, Khabib shoots, gets Darce right away. Imagine waiting that long and that's how it ends.
I would have loved maybe even like a flying knee, like a Masvidal Askren style
Okay,
type
that
of thing.
would be a cool
How
way
crazy.
to end it early.
Or
but-
just a kick. Like just I love everything about that Masvidal and Askren KO, just due to the fact like he planned it out so much. It doesn't seem like it's something that was planned, but the
it's totally
fact that like they had training video on it too. But in terms of like setting it up, like slowly walking towards Askren and then quickly turning because Askren's going to go to his reflexes and go for a takedown. He knew it right away.
He knew how Askren ducked in, so he literally circled to that side,
Just
instead of the
walked,
angle.
like
Then
strolled.
okay, if I just suddenly make a move to run, his instinct is going to be to
Wrestle,
dive,
yeah.
and he does that sloppy dive. It was perfectly planned. It was
so
calculated.
beautiful.
It was perfectly
so
calculated.
beautiful. And then lastly, Cejudo Cruz. That's something that
Yes.
came out of nowhere. I don't mind it.
I don't mind it.
Like
No, he does not deserve a title shot, Dominic Cruz, but Cejudo
it doesn't
just
make
wants
sense.
the names.
It
Cejudo-
doesn't make sense, but
It
I
should be
prefer
Pierre
it more than Aldo.
Definitely should be
Oh,
Yan.
easily.
But
Or Sterling. You can make it
Sterling's coming off an injury and a surgery,
But I'm
so
saying
I
you
don't
can-
like getting a title shot off of
rankings
surgery.
wise. You can make a case for Sterling.
I would
Sterling
go with
and
Yan
Yan.
though.
Yeah.
I think Yan, because Sterling's also been off for longer, so I think Yan is the number one guy. Cejudo just wants those names though. He's only.
But the
calling out
funny
the
thing
names.
is, how much of a name is Cruz really going to help you, get
know
more
what?
money?
I was kind of thinking of that too. Like even when he called out Frankie, I'm like, these are hardcore.
There's nobody at those smaller weight classes.
These aren't
that are
casual.
going to matter. It's not going to matter.
They're not big to the casuals. The ones he's calling out. It is a little. Only Uriah was kind of like big.
Even
to the casuals.
Cruz, like when the UFC was
was not
really
a draw.
popping. No, he wasn't.
He was not a draw ever.
Nope.
Cruz has never been a draw. Even when he was a champ at WEC and stuff, it's always been hardcores that know him.
It makes no sense in terms of saying that just because Dominic Cruz has more of a name value that he's going to get paid more. First of all, he's not even the top seeding of the event. So how much more of a pay per view buys is he going to get?
Maybe
You know what I mean?
there is some like, okay, when it's all said and done on my resume, I want to just say I beat Dominic Cruz as one of the best
in
bantamweights as well.
2020.
I know.
After a
But that's
3 year
the thing,
layoff.
Have you noticed with fighters, they don't seem to give a shit when they fight a legend?
No.
Like people, Yair still talking about how
He beat BJ.
how he beat it's like a big name to be. I'm like, who cares? But it doesn't matter. But they don't give a fuck because on the record it says BJ Penn, you beat him, right? So it might be one of those like I want to tick off this box. I beat the greatest flyweight. I'm sorry. Yeah, I beat the greatest flyweight in DJ. I beat the
That's the
greatest
most
bantamweight.
reputable one. That's the most reputable thing he has on his
Yeah.
record.
I'd say.
Did
I
Dillashaw one
personally say
reputable?
TJ because even though DJ was the bigger win, I didn't really feel like it was a win-win. TJ, he won. He
Like in
put
terms
him
of the
out.
decision itself you're talking
Yeah,
about?
like he actually beat TJ, whereas it's disputable if he even beat DJ.
I
Better than
I don't
Aldo.
mind the fight. Like I'm actually intrigued. What are the odds?
Better than
though?
Aldo. Better than Aldo.
Plus 210 Dominic Cruz, in my opinion, is a little bit wide. It's a little wide.
210? Dude, I was just about to say like it should probably be around minus 200 to plus 160 for Cejudo. Plus 210 at Dominic Cruz.
That's
Mr.
some
I don't
value.
have fucking ring rust. Dominic Cruz,
Remember the Takeo Mizugaki fight? That was the first fight he came back
dude.
after a huge fucking layoff.
Then he took another year and a half off after another
And beat
ACL
TJ.
and beat the champion in his first fight.
Yeah.
Ring rust? Dominic Cruz, if you've heard his training though, he does like a full 6-week or like 10-week camp, then goes into his real training camp. He does a pre-camp. That's why he doesn't have rust.
Mm-hmm.
That's also why he can't fucking fight that often. Because of all that goddamn training and bouncing on his feet and he fucks his body
He's a
up
very
too much.
mobile fucking fighter. How
Who
old is
else?
he?
Who else was off for 3 years? Comes back finally for a minute, then's off another year and a half. Comes back to 3 fights in a year finally, and then is off again for 3.5 years. What the fuck kind of a...
35 years old. He's actually younger than Tony Ferguson, which is interesting.
Yeah, but he's also tiny.
He's tiny.
It's not a good division to be at 35 years
especially
old.
with his fighting style, where you need, like even one of the sections of his thing is it says string of injuries. Like, yeah, this is probably the most injury-ridden fighter at the highest level that you could possibly see.
He could
or Cain
easily,
Velasquez. You can throw
if
that
he
out there
wasn't
as well.
out with all those injuries, then you could easily argue he's like pound for pound discussions. Imagine what he could have done in that
easily.
time. He was fucking like 25-1 at one point,
Yeah.
and the only loss he beat the guy twice after that. Like what the fuck?
Even now he's still like 25-2, right? His only other loss is Garbrandt.
Cody. Even the Cody fight, when you hear about
22-2.
that,
That's true.
he was so beaten up going into that fight because that was his third fight in a year after coming back. And he's like, I was pushing myself too much to fight more frequently.
Mm-hmm.
And just all that training throughout that year, it seemed to really fuck him up.
I feel bad for the dude because right when the UFC really absorbed the WEC is when he got fucked.
Yep.
And that was his prime time to really make a
That
name
was
for
his prime.
himself.
He literally lost, I think, from 27 to 30 years old. Like, what the fuck?
Like, dude, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 UFC fights since 2011.
That's 9
years. 6 fights.
He's averaging one fight every 1.5 years. That's ridiculous.
That's insane, dude.
That's ridiculous.
That's fucking crazy.
For one of the greatest ever.
I totally forgot that he defended the title against Scar Jorgensen. WEC.
Oh, in WC. I was like, when did he do that in the UFC?
Yeah. No. In the
Favorite, yeah.
WEC. That was the same event. That was the last event, actually. Yeah, Pettis and Henderson was that night, too. I'm pretty sure I watched that event at your place.
Yeah.
Pretty certain when we saw the ninja kick.
I still have a memory of like
Because I wanted
looking back and seeing Prab standing up after the Showtime kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys were both there. Like when we saw that, we were like, especially in
What the
2010,
Yeah.
shit's more flashy
10
now.
years ago.
But at that time, to see the Showtime kick was like, what in the fuck is this?
Yeah.
This is the Matrix.
That was a couple months before Anderson Silva did the front kick to Vitor.
And the craziest part about that shit was it didn't even, and no one talks about this, it didn't finish the fight.
No.
Ben Henderson still went for a single leg and rolled it out.
Yeah.
He didn't get finished with that.
That was insane.
It did seal the fight though.
Dude, another thing that I also been doing, this Corona thing been driving me fucking nuts. I went back and started watching old UFC events. Like I made like a sticky note here. I want to go back and watch all the Strikeforce events, all the WEC events, all UFC events, all Pride
You
events.
use the sticky notes like me. Same thing on the
Yeah,
computer.
exactly. And these are the shows that I eventually want to get back to as well, too.
Dude, I have a sticky note list of like shows and movies as well. It's the same fucking thing. It's hilarious. Like just random things I need to remember. Like, like I returned something to Old Navy and I need the tracking number, so that's on the sticky note.
Exactly.
It's like just random
It's
things I
perfect.
need
Sticky
to put
note
up.
is like the most
When I
useful fucking
reformat
tool.
my computer, you go through the hard drives, make sure you backed everything up. The one thing I've missed a couple times is sticky notes because they're not saved anywhere. You have to
shit.
open up the app to see. So now I always remember copy paste into a
Word
notepad,
doc
save it.
or
whatever.
that. Yeah. No, I watched Pride 1. I've seen UFC 14, 15. They used to call it UFC Japan, Ultimate Japan, which is so fucking redundant and dumb.
Yeah,
but that was their first ever event in Japan. Frank Shamrock's UFC debut. Kazushi Sakuraba's UFC debut. There was a Sakuraba had this. I'll show it to you. I have it on my
you
Twitter.
got Ozark and the boys top 2.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be there. That it's actually an order of when I want to get back to it too.
And also, don't listen to Shab about Ozark.
Oh yeah.
He already annoyed me when he's like, season 3 was easily the worst. I'm like, you do realize it's getting the best reviews of the 3 seasons. I
saw the same thing that you laid out something when me and Zane and you were chilling, where you're like, it's getting a little ridiculous how they keep getting away with some of this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
I saw a couple of people on my Twitter timeline saying the same thing.
Oh yeah.
So
like, okay, it's super entertaining and fast paced. So you're never bored, and you are interested in what happens next. But you're also aware of how can the same sets of characters keep having all these coincidences and things line up to
is
even
it like
get
the
to this
realism?
point.
The realism
Exactly.
starts to
Like
get
you
fucked up.
know, you're super aware while watching it.
Yeah.
None of this shit could happen in real life. This family would have been murdered by episode 3 in real life. Like they're never getting away with any of this. And like it just so happens to be lucky. Like this character has this personality, so they're easily able to manipulate.
Yeah.
Like things like that, where you're like, come on, this is just lining up to it. But super entertaining. I would say. Personally, I liked. I know season 3 got the best reviews. I like season 2 better. I think. I thought season 2 was the best.
I gotta finish Better Call Saul tonight. That's the last episode, and then I'm
on
my stuff. Like I have an
episode
opening.
7, season 1.
Nice. I think you're gonna like it. I just want to get
I will
your.
say it's slow right now. Not much has really happened at all in terms of story. It's just characters.
I think season 2 is when it
like,
really starts to pick up.
I'm not bored.
Yeah.
But I can also acknowledge, like, after 7 episodes, it feels like nothing's really happened.
Like, do you have an interest in actually watching the next episode?
Yes, because I like Saul. I like Mike. I know these characters from Breaking Bad. I don't mind the slow pace because it's kind of like a Tarantino vibe. There's no music. And he'll let the scene play out really long and kind of immerse you.
The cinematography in these shows is really good.
I like
it's Breaking Bad level. Like, it's the same fucking people, right?
So. I like that, but it's also strange. Like, the last thing I watched was Ozark season 3. So to go from that to like break, it's like, holy fuck, this pace is so slow.
Picks the fuck up though. Trust me, season 2, you're really gonna fucking enjoy.
I'm just saying it's nothing amazing right now, but I also do feel like they're putting the blocks into place to set shit up. So I'm like, all right, I got to give it its time.
Yeah.
Even Breaking Bad, I remember a couple of people saying like, I watched the first episode, it's not even that great. I'm like, dude, give it some time.
It took me like 2 watches of that first episode to finally get into it, but I'm glad I fucking did.
I watched the first episode and went, all right, cool. Then after crazy. Like 3 or 4 episodes, like, okay, all right, here we go.
Shit starts to pick up.
Here we go. Yeah.
I wanted to get your thoughts on this. This was one of the early stoppages I've ever seen. I just want to get your perspective on it. Conan Silvera against Kazushi Sakuraba. So Silvera is like going ham on him against the cage, and then Sakuraba shoots for a takedown, and Big John just stops the fucking fight. Watch this.
Oh, that's a bad. It looks like he thought he collapsed. He didn't collapse because the way he dropped down, he went to shoot for the single with the hand that's on the other side of his body, so Big John didn't see that.
Yeah, exactly.
He must have thought that he flopped down or was giving up.
So he kind of got lucky because you'll actually recognize that guy, Conan Silvera.
I've heard of him. Oh, he's the fucking coach?
Yeah.
He's the ATT coach?
I didn't even know he was a fighter.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Dude.
He was in the early UFCs.
Dude,
you've always wondered who this guy was, right?
I have the image already like burned in my mind of Amanda Nunes just jumping up on him.
Oh, yeah. He's massive, dude.
Yeah, he's huge.
He's fucking massive. But yeah, Sakuraba had to fight him in their heavyweight tournament. And so they've been doing tournaments pretty much since UFC 1, but they have 4 fighters and they'll fight all their fights in one night. So Tank Abbott fought some Japanese guy earlier and he had to go all 15 minutes. There's a 12-minute round and then a 3-minute overtime round. And if there's still nothing after that, the judges give them a decision. Tank Abbott went to 4:15, just completely gassed, sitting on top of this guy, just slowly peppering him. He broke his left hand. So they managed to do a rematch of these two the same night that this happened. And then Sakuraba comes out there and armbars him right after that. And then he wins the heavyweight tournament.
He won this. He got a rematch right away.
Right away, same night. Fucking rematch.
That's hilarious.
Fucking insane. Dude, there's been some crazy, like, Mike Goldberg's first UFC event was UFC Japan.
It's so funny how everyone just bloats up as they get older.
Yeah.
Why does it's like the face too? Like, why does everybody's face get fatter?
That's so true. And the funny thing is, he was actually kind of like way more coherent in this first one because I think he had a lot of like drug abuse issues and shit afterwards. Once you start to get familiar,
he looks like someone who might be drunk.
He went through that shit. Tank Abbott against Maurice Smith was a fucking beast back then. He was their heavyweight champion.
He beat Coleman.
Coleman laid on him for like, I'd say. The first round was 12 minutes. He laid on him for like 8 minutes. And then once he got up, he was completely gassed. Yeah, he was gassed. And then all Maurice Smith's doing the entire time, leg kicks. Leg kick. Like 4 minutes of leg kicks, won him the fight.
I think Rogan talks about that. Or no, wait, who's the guy that deaded Coleman against the cage with the left leg kick?
I think it was Smith.
No.
I think it was Smith.
The white guy.
No, I think I know who you're talking about. And I'm pretty sure it was Smith.
Where he was against the cage and he just got kicked and slumped down in a sitting position dead.
Let me confirm that.
No, it was a white dude.
I'm pretty certain it was. I just want to see if he fought him twice. UFC 14.
No, decision.
Yeah. That's the one that I watched. Did he fight him again though? No. Who the fuck did?
Oh, was it Pete something?
Let's see.
God, why? Pete Williams. Bam! I knew it. There we go.
Oh, dude, that one was. Yeah, this.
I think
this
Rogan
event's
talks
still coming
about
up
this
on
one
me.
where it was kind of similar in that like these kickboxers just learned how to protect themselves from the guard and wait till these jack guys gassed out.
Yeah,
and they would fuck them up.
That's pretty much what Maurice Smith did. Yeah. This was the one
because Coleman had no cardio.
No, zero. Look how gassed he is.
Yeah, he's too tanked. This knockout is retarded. I can watch this anytime.
It was so good.
Look at it. He's
Boom!
so... And he's got shoes
I know,
on.
that's the fucked up part.
Come on. Why is he even... Well, which organization? Was it Pride? Where if you wore shoes, you can't throw kicks?
They didn't say anything about that in the Pride event that I watched, the first one at least.
There are a couple where I've seen someone wearing shoes and throwing kicks, but I swear, like, the trade-off was you can wear shoes, but you can't throw kicks. So wrestlers would want to wear
It's
shoes.
so weird that they actually did this.
Allow
though.
shoes?
And fucking Mark Kerr, dude. Holy shredded and a half. This was Couture and Belfort. But look at it. Like, you don't really see it in this, but fucking shredded. Both of the, so UFC 14 and 15, he was in the first round. The guy who won on the opposite side of the bracket saw that Mark Kerr won. They're like, fuck it, not doing it. So the alternate had to come in, and he would always like wreck the alternates. Both of them.
Oh, they didn't want to fight him.
No, they didn't want to fight.
So scared
Dude,
of him.
his UFC 15 19-second knockout of, I think it was this guy, just fucking kneed him. The guy dead immediately. He was so juiced. Juiced beyond belief.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
Mix the sauces, all of them. Mix them.
It's like Coleman.
Because he was on it.
Coleman
too. Yeah, they're the same team. Team
Have you ever
Hammerhouse.
seen the fixed fight with Coleman where he got heel hooked?
I haven't seen that one yet. I'm hoping
It's kind of
was
hilarious.
it Pride? I think it's
kind of
Pride.
hilarious.
I haven't seen it yet, but you know what?
Like
It's just
Coleman's
fun.
on
Do you remember the
top.
guy's name?
Takan. I don't know. No, I don't.
Fixed fight. Let's see.
Yeah, that one.
Disgraces America.
That's the
What's the
title.
name of the fucking?
It doesn't even say who won the fight. He doesn't even show who he's fighting. It just says Mark Coleman disgraces America.
Hold on, let me see.
Dude,
oh, this guy's in all the Japanese guys'
even
corners
the
too.
announcers
Actually,
were like,
let's see. Where's the
like
finish?
Coleman is clearly just hanging out on top of him, waiting for him to grab the leg.
This is
Like, Coleman could just drop down and take mount if he needed to. He's like, oh no, my leg. Oh, look, he's just hanging out. He's not even trying.
Let me roll one so it looks real. Yeah,
He's not trying.
and he's doing the wrestling.
He's doing the
thing.
wrestling thing. Are you gonna tap? It's like he's going, no.
Dude, I'm interested in the fact that the fight actually went like 9 minutes though. Like, is it just
You have
him
to
roll?
make it look good, yeah. It's just him on top, but not really trying to hurt him.
Yeah, because he's the grandfather of fucking ground and pound. Like,
Yep.
I don't see any ground and pound in this yet. Literally just on top of him.
Like, he would pressure more.
Wow.
Yeah, he passed
Mark
a
Kerr?
bit, but
Yeah, that's
he
Mark
knew
Kerr.
he had to throw the fight.
That's insane.
Another
dude.
thing is, I swear they would come to guys in the back and be like, you'll get an extra bonus if you make it last more than 5 minutes, or if you don't do this. Like,
Yeah, even this, he finished a couple guys with this scarf hold as well too in the UFC.
I swear there was a grappler who was told, like, don't take it to the ground. And he's like, yeah, fuck that. I took the guy right to the ground immediately and fucked him up.
The only thing that sounds familiar with is Kimbo when he fought somebody. I forgot who he fucking fought.
Petrozelli?
I think it was Petrozelli, and Petrozelli still fucking like murked him.
Yeah, they gave him a bonus not to go for a takedown on Kimbo, and then he knocked him out anyway in 10 seconds.
This is the first time I saw this
I
guy.
love that, the Rogan video. Have you seen it?
Of
Right before Petrozelli Kimbo starts,
oh yeah,
he makes a video. He's like,
I
I
got
think he's going to
this."
fuck him up. Let's see. And like
Yeah.
immediately it happens. Like, yep.
Told you,
Dude, imagine if you were Joe Rogan at that time when MMA, nobody knew what
making
it was.
money.
You
bet on
Anderson
fights?
Silva
I
was
know.
like a minus 110 to Lieben
Yeah.
or something, and he told his friend to throw all the money on it.
Every single one.
What?
Yeah, that's
What
insane.
the fuck, man?
Yeah, there's some chemo against Dan Severn. Remember chemo? Fucking came out with the cross when
No,
he fought.
I don't know Chemo. I know
Hoist
Dan
Gracie.
Severn from WWF when
Oh,
I was
yeah.
watching as a kid.
Chemo fought Hoist Gracie at UFC 2, and he tired Hoist out so much that Hoist couldn't continue, and some guy had to come in.
Oh, that
in
was the one.
main event.
Okay, yeah, we
Chemo
gassed
just
out.
next level, like so jacked too. That fight was so fucking boring. What is this? What was it? Oh, there's this guy got this fucking hematoma on his head. One of the first ever hematomas I've ever seen. But the guy like initiated that hematoma by kicking the guy while he's on the ground, which is illegal at the time.
Oh,
As he's falling out of the cage or out of the ring, sorry. This guy, you know this guy? Nathan
Oh,
Jones. He
hell
was a,
yeah,
he was
Nathan
a
Jones. He was in
WWF
WWE.
guy. Yeah. But yeah, he got like commoored by a fucking sumo wrestler right away. Dude, Pride 1 was nuts. Oleg Taktarov. Yo,
I remember him. I remember him.
let me just show you this fucking knockout. Gary Goodridge just fucking deading guys. Are you kidding me? Where's that fucking knockout? Dude, he fucking... And the follow-up punches were probably even worse. Here we go. So disgusting. Ugh. Come on. It's coming here.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh Jesus. What the
Those
fuck?
extra two were like
He looks
super
He looks
unnecessary.
like a passed out drunk.
Yeah, exactly.
That's exactly how a guy passes out
They
drunk.
stretchered him out. Look at it.
Okay, when people are like on their stomach, their head's always to one side.
Nope.
This guy's straight
His
on
nose.
his tip of
It's
his
just
nose.
like- yeah.
His head is straight up.
Yo, he got fucked up, dude. The follow-up shots though. Oh, two of them.
His hands are totally
Yeah, exactly.
not even reacting.
So out of it. And then they stretched him out. I don't know if they show it. But Gary Gray.
That's how Zane would pass out. If you got Zane drunk and tired, that's how you would pass out. That's how he would look.
All right, I just want to end off on this. I want to see if that was actually his last fight. Oleg Tektarov typology. The Russian Bear. 17-5-2. No. He actually beat Mark Kerr in 2008. Wow. He had a couple of fights after that. Okay. I thought he fucking would have called it quits after that bullshit.
Every time I hear Kerr, I always think of Wheezy's line. I keep the double R, me and Steve Kerr.
Oh shit.
That's all I ever. That's the only thing that fucking comes into my head every time.
Anything else that we may have missed in terms of MMA these last couple days? Last couple weeks?
What I'm excited for is, even though I don't want to see Gaethje Tony, if that event happens, it also signals the start of every fucking week till 2021 UFC.
Possible multiple events every week too.
I'm hoping. Here's the thing. Now that I'm hearing Rogan is testing all of his guys, and apparently it costs like $200 a test, which is nothing for the UFC. Hey, if you only got a limited number of people and everyone has been tested, that's not. Is there a risk there? I don't see how there's a risk there if everyone's fucking been tested.
My only concern is the fact that they're saying it's not FDA approved yet. So how accurate are those tests?
Well, see, that will come back to the company, because if the company wants to fuck around with a test that's not that great, they're gonna have to deal with the PR nightmare after. But so I'm hoping that the UFC's like really, they're probably super strict with it when it comes to fighting. Like, you got to have your I's dotted, your T's crossed. So I'm hoping. I think it should be fine. I'm hoping Nevada gives them that exemption to run their events at the PI. Like, just do it.
That's the easiest way to go about it, rather than this
and
whole
then Fight Island is
shit.
international though. That's more the traveling and the border stuff.
I hope they keep doing events there. I hope it's not like a temporary solution.
No. It seems like, well, the fact that they've trademarked Fight Island and all that, I think that's going to be like a gimmick type.
It should
deal.
be a destination.
Yeah,
like they should do it like like they could do international fight weeks there.
Do
like
fucking
exclusive fans come and watch this fucking
man.
shit. I would totally fucking
have like a
wanna go
chopper circling the island, giving you different film.
Yeah,
points
how
and stuff.
fucking
Why
sick
the
would that
fuck
be?
not, dude?
Lyman Good, first fighter to test positive for COVID-19, but he's in New York, which is like the epicenter of this shit, right? So it kind of makes sense.
The whole world. New York is the worst in the world for this shit. Well, outside of what China's reporting to, I know.
Yeah, who knows what those fucking... I think it's a Rogan podcast where they keep talking about like how there's so many cell phone signals missing. Over 22 million cell phone signals
based on
missing.
how many lines have been canceled or something, they can estimate deaths, and it's like, there's like millions missing. Like,
that's fucking nuts if that's actually true.
Dude, when you fucking see a truck pull up, two dudes in hazmat suits come out and escort someone into a fucking cage and then drive off, like, what the fuck is this? This is a movie. Yeah. This is Blade Runner or some
Even
shit.
Even the pictures of like the grave sites that I'm seeing, they're just dumping bodies into pits now. Like, that's fucked.
This is the problem when your population is too big. It's the same issue in India. They have over 1 billion people that every life means that little. Like, one life means anything. They're so used to just people dying everywhere because there's so many fucking people. You get desensitized to it.
I hope this shit blows over soon though, man. Like, I'm happy with the work from home situation. And then, like, again, me, myself, I'm an introvert kind of as well too. So I don't mind just chilling at home and going on drives every now and then and going for walks and stuff. But in terms of just seeing everybody go back to normal and everything go back to normal would be kind of nice. I won't lie. I'm kind of looking forward to that. We're going to shell out 2 more Deciding Splits episodes for you guys. So we're going to be getting right into that. But in terms of like topics, in terms of UFC, there's not much going on other than the UFC 249 that's been tentatively announced.
We'll probably be back, like May 2nd, I guess,
Yeah,
for
May
another
2nd week.
The week before. That's also if they confirm that the event is happening.
Yeah, probably May
think it will.
3rd week, May 4th.
I think it will.
We'll come back with
I
another
actually think
Combatosseurs.
this event's going to happen.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah. Well, we'll save that for the
Here's
the
another
next
funny
one.
little tidbit. Did you know that on the the board of people that help determine when it's best to open up the economy or how best to do it, it includes Dana and Vince. Donald Trump has named those two to be on the advisory board.
They said a bunch of the sporting leaders.
Yeah, but what? Does Dana look like a fucking guy who should be advising anybody on when the economy should open? What? This guy doesn't know anything other than fights.
The fact that they're including business-centric and business-minded people in it is not a good thing, because those people want the businesses to open up even quicker, and they might be jumping the gun at that point, right?
Yeah, and not to mention, this is a guy who literally, like 3 weeks ago, said he doesn't like books or reading.
Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly.
Get him the fuck off the panel. Yeah. Where is Brian Stan? This is my question right now. I heard him on Anakin Flow.
He was on Anakin
after
Flow.
I'm like, yes, where is this guy? Can you fucking save the world now, Brian Stan? What is going on?
It's
Become
about fucking
president
time.
already.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck,
no, I'm
man.
totally behind that.
How is he not president?
Stan and DC are probably like the two, and even Chael to a certain extent, I think you could see as a replacement for Dana, but I think Brian Stan got to be number one. Got to be
not
been
Chael.
a fighter.
Not Chael.
The thing about Chael is the fact that he's had a bit of a murky past in terms of his like legalities and all that shit. But I think Brian Stan, hands down.
Him and Frank Mir, they're very similar in this sense. When they're talking, when you're listening to them, you're like, holy fuck, this guy's super smart and insightful. Then when you actually dig into what they're saying, you're like, oh, there's a lot of stupidness going on here.
They're good with delivering the information, but it may not be the correct information.
Frank is really good with being objective and breaking down how he should fight, and then he'll go on and do the dumbest shit. You're like, what the fuck is going on? How are you this smart outside and this dumb after?
Yeah.
Chael is just like, he doesn't really like get all the facts before he starts going off on a topic, and he'll go off in an intelligent manner.
That's why I stopped listening to his podcast.
Yeah, because I'm like, this is all wrong.
Gather the facts.
Yeah, you're not gathering all the facts. Yes, you sound smart, assuming what you thought was true, but it's not. So now it's all a stupid thing. Like, what are you talking about?
That's chill.
Yeah.
All right, let's end this shit off here. Make sure you guys go check out the deciding splits. I'm going to drop the Combatosseurs first, and then we'll do the deciding splits over the next 2 weeks. A little bit of a flashback episode, something that we've been doing over the last couple of weeks with this hiatus in terms of news and all that shit going on. So make sure you guys go check that shit out. Yeah, that's about it. Let's just fucking get into the other ones.